Dumelang, beautiful people. My name is Lebogang Hlanyane. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, a lot of people have been asking me for a study tips video, and today is the day. So, stay tuned, get your notebooks, and yeah, enjoy. Ever wondered how A students are always so calm and relaxed during exam season while everyone else panics? Well, today I will be sharing the secret study tips and habits that they use that you can copy. I need you to remember this. You do not have to be some genius to get A's. All you need is the perfect study method. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. The first study tip is to take away all distractions, and I mean all. This includes your phone or maybe even the apps on your phone. For example, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever the case may be. I don't know. I usually delete those apps during exam seasons because, yeah, I can say maybe I'm addicted, but every 2 seconds I'm gonna go on my phone, and so it's best to delete. Or if deleting is a bit extreme for you, you can just hide those apps on your phone so you don't constantly see them and you're not tempted to go on those apps. Another way to take away distractions would be to find a place where there are no distractions, where there's no noise and all of that. Maybe study in a library, or if you cannot go to a library, you can study late at night when everyone else is sleeping and it's peaceful, there's no noise, or yeah, whatever the case may be. Just ensure that there are no distractions while you're studying. The second study tip is to plan. Plan. If you plan not to plan, you're planning for failure, and that's on period. Create a realistic, I repeat, realistic study timetable. That timetable will then include all your subjects as well as breaks, because you need to breathe as a person and refresh your mind. And if you're those people who want to study last minute, life happens. It's not okay, but we have plan B. Have a to-do list. Let's say you're writing maths tomorrow, and last minute you will note down all the topics or chapters you need to cover, and after each you scratch it out. This makes you more productive because you can see progress. Yeah, you can see your progress. Okay, I'm done with 3 chapters. Cool, which means I'm pushing. It gives you energy, it gives you motivation, because you can see that you're actually doing something. And yeah, man, plan. It's either timetable, to-do list, those. The next study tip is asking for help. Guys, if you feel like you can't do this alone, it's perfectly okay. We're just humans. I mean, I'm just a girl, you're just a girl, you're just a boy. Guys, if you need help, it's okay. So if you do not understand a certain topic or chapter, you should ask your teacher for help. If you feel like the explanation your teacher is giving you is still very complicated, ask a friend or someone in your class who understands the topic. Maybe if that person explains it to you, you'll understand it better. Another thing you can do is join extra classes. Go to as many extra classes as possible, as they are very helpful. You do not need to be in the specific class to attend extra classes. If your friends from different classes say that they have extra classes, go with them. Those extra classes will be very helpful in the end. If you can, get tutors, because it's also very helpful when different people are teaching you, because you get to see different perspectives and different teaching methods, which allows you to understand. I don't know, yeah. And another thing you can do is study with a group of people. Maybe you guys have a study group with your friends, where you guys explain certain topics to each other and all of that. That is also very helpful, because your friend might know a certain topic that you don't understand, and you might also know a certain topic that your friend doesn't understand. So having a study group is very helpful, because you guys work together and yeah, help each other. Moving on to study methods, what I prefer, which is also very useful, is using flashcards. This is how my flashcards look like. So you get cards. Now this is extremely helpful. This is how I personally study, using flashcards. I have like so many, flashcards, and they're extremely helpful. They basically help you move information from short-term memory to long-term memory. Flashcards are also very helpful because they help break down complex topics into smaller sections that are easier to understand. So I recommend using flashcards. Basically, you're going to have pages that you're going to cut into like small squares or whatever, and then write down the question and answer at the back, and just going to yeah guys, I'm not teach you guys how to use flashcards, but hey, use flashcards. The method is blurting. Blurting is basically when you read your notes or study everything, and then after that you close your book and take a clean sheet of paper where you will then write down every single thing you remember without peeking into your notes. This will then help you identify your gaps. This will help you identify what you do not know. So you write down everything you know. After writing down everything you know, you'll then take your notes, and from your notes check if you've missed anything, and then everything you've missed is what you'll now focus on. The next tip is taking breaks. Breaks are extremely important, especially when you study. You do not want to overload your brain with information. That will only cause you to be overwhelmed, extremely tired, and yeah, you don't want that. So maybe study for 30 minutes and then take 5-minute breaks in between. Depending. If you want to study for longer hours, then your breaks should also be long. The next tip is to turn your study notes into questions. Now, I don't think this is very important, but guys, emphasis on this one. So basically, turning your notes into questions. For example, if this happens, then why does this happen? You know, those type of things. So turning your notes into questions will help you understand what you're studying in depth and not just memorize. So instead of just memorizing and cramming, you're now actually asking questions so that you understand. Doing that helps you remember, because now you're not just cramming, but you know what you're talking about. And if you know something, child, you're not going to forget. So turn your notes into questions so that you understand the topic. Cool. Another important thing, use past papers. Not one, not two, not three, but a lot of past papers, guys. Past papers are very important because they help you understand the way in which they structure the questions in the exams. We all know that the questions in the textbooks and the questions we do in class are not the same as the questions we find in exams. The questions in our exams are much more complicated sometimes, and it confuses us because you're like, guys, ma'am didn't teach me this, but ma'am taught you. It's just that the question is structured differently. So past papers will also help you identify the key topics in exams. The more you do past papers, you'll start identifying a pattern of topics, and then you'll be able to see, okay, this chapter or topic is tested a lot. So you'll be able to identify the key topics in the exams. Past papers will also help you with your time management. Now, when you do these past papers, I'd advise you to do them under exam conditions. So basically clear your table, put your phone aside, you can put your timer on, so you can time yourself or whatever, and do the exam under exam conditions. This will help you with time management, because then you'll know, okay, I'm going to allocate this much time to this specific chapter. That will help you in the exam. So do that over and over and over and over and over and over again, so that you know the specific time you need for each section in the exam. Coolsy. Another thing you can do while using time, guys. Stop it. Another thing you can do while using past papers is to mark your past papers and keep record of the marks. Guys, this can be demotivating sometimes, because the first time you do the past paper and you realize you got 15 out of 50, it's not going to be cutesy. But the more you do past papers, the higher your marks will go, because it's like practice, guys. Practice makes perfect. You see the same questions over and over and over and over again, and you familiarize yourself with those questions as well as the answers, and your marks will keep record of your marks, so you know if there's an improvement, and so that they can be an improvement. Cool stuff. Another thing about past papers is that after applying everything I've just told you, you will be more confident and more comfortable with the exam, because You've done this before. So why stress? Why panic? If you can do the past paper, my sister, you can write the exam and pass. If you got 90% on that past paper, you are guaranteed 90% in your exam, because it's the same content, just different questions, and the questions are the same sometimes. So guys, it's the same, man. If you can do past papers over and over and over again, you are familiarizing yourself with the paper, you're more comfortable, which will reduce your stress and anxiety. But okay, studying is not just about the different study methods, memorizing, cramming, understanding, all of that. It's also about knowing the type of learner you are. So there are different types of learners, and different types of learner study differently. For example, the first learner we have is the visual learner. This learner is the learner who learns through pictures, diagrams, videos, charts, mind maps, color coding, etc. So if you are a visual learner, then you have to watch a lot of YouTube videos, highlight your notes, draw mind maps and different diagrams while explaining the work to yourself or trying to understand your work. That will help you a lot, because you learn from, if you can't see and you are just hearing, my sister. This will then take me over to the auditory learners. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. These are the learners who learn best through hearing. So this means they would prefer explanations, class discussions, group work. What else? Listening to voice notes, audios, etc. So this is the type of learner who learns best through hearing. So they remember everything they hear, and that's exactly what they have to do. The third learner is a kinetic learner. So this is a hands-on learner. They learn by doing, experiments, moving around, acting things out, So the more they move, their brain wakes up and they remember. So that's a kinetic learner. So for that type of learner, I'd prefer you to act out what you're saying, pretend to be a teacher, explaining to a class, whatever. That's going to help you as well. Jump around, akiti, something along those lines, to help you understand and remember your work. And then we have the solo learners. These are the learners who prefer to study alone. Self-paced, self-driven, in a quiet place. They just want to be alone in their own universe and without any distractions. So if you're that type of learner, then I prefer you to sit alone when you study probably at night when everyone else is sleeping and it's quiet, or go to the library, where you won't have a lot of people around you, where you're alone, focused, and standing on business. Last but not least, we have the logical learners. These ones need patterns, rules, whys. So these are the type of people who need to understand each and everything they study. If they don't understand why in a specific topic, then they're not moving on. So if you're that type of learner, I would recommend that you start turning your notes into questions, so that you can break down the complex questions into smaller, easier bits, and understand everything that's happening, so you can move on to your other topics. So yeah, they love the structure. But Lebu, what if I'm a visual learner, but also a kinetic learner, but also a logical learner? What if I'm not just one type of learner? That's not a true match. A lot of people are a mixture of both. The most important thing, though, is for you to understand the type of learner you are. So knowing the type of learner you are is like a cheat code to the brain. You understand yourself better, you study smarter and not harder, you remember more content, and your grades are going there, and that's what we like. So I would advise all of you to do some self-introspection and find out the type of learner you are, do some research on it, and yeah, you'll probably find more tips on how the type of learner you are has to study. That will be extremely helpful. So yeah, that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed my study tips video, and I hope that these study tips are extremely helpful. And yeah, good luck with your exams. Bye, love you.